Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to introduce 3 Buick Gran Sport project cars. Comment below which one you'd like to see more of. We'll be back next week with the Lincoln Revival, just waiting on some parts to be able to finish that car. Thanks for watching. Consider liking and subscribing.
Hey, Lou, remember this Buick?
Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Oh yeah, that's right, Thanksgiving. I thought it was just another day because we're working.
We're in a very old alignment shop. When did y'all open?
Oh, probably. He worked for other places and he opened his own place probably in late 70s.
When did he close?
What's that?
How long's he been closed? Like 10 years?
Well, when he retired, good old Joe. He's an amazing guy.
How old is he?
He's about 85, 4 foot tall, but real strong, mighty guy.
4 feet is generous. He's got a Model A hiding up there. And this is a 36 Ford?
That's what he said.
I don't know. We don't know the old stuff.
This car's been in here how long, Lou?
Sticker, I think, was 13 when I just walked up there. 1971 Buick Gran Sport, factory 350 car. The guy we bought it from used to race it with his brother. I think it ran low 13s at one point on drag radials.
But it's not a 350 anymore.
No, it's 455. Look how old these alignment units are.
There we go. Last time I had this hood open, well, there was a battery in here, but there's probably no juice left in it. There's the battery.
Ooh, look at the mice.
Where?
Just kidding.
Son of a gun.
455 Buick. I believe it was bored over. It's got a cam in it.
Oh, it's a top post battery, Lou.
An old Kenny Bell cam. They should have, well, yeah, depending on when it was built.
Oh, boy.
How do I open this thing? Does it have roller rockers
Oh,
on
wait,
it?
it's a dual post battery.
Yeah, roller
Oh,
rockers.
guess what?
Hey,
What?
I'm talking about the engine.
I'm talking about myself. Oh, look at that brake fastest cylinder.
That's all right.
Did you try to see if there's any brakes?
I didn't even get in there yet. Roller rockers. It's got a cam, factory intake. I think the heads were slightly ported. I don't remember. And then it had a Stinger ignition system on it, but we put a factory style distributor in it.
Because it wasn't running with the Stinger.
You drove this car as a, oh, it is 8 of 14. You drove this as a daily for a summer.
Used to be this.
Yeah, I used to fly a lot. It's got headers, got a 3-inch exhaust. It's got a keyless ignition. No power. Oh, the brake's nice.
Is it good brake?
Yeah, really good. Bucket seat. Dyed steering wheel. Oh, the console's in the back here. Just dropped the... When we bought it, it was all rusty. They started to restore it. And then the roof needs... Did you put patches in the roof? The quarters need work.
We didn't put no patches. We just painted it.
So we're going to see if we get it running. And maybe, if we have enough time... Yeah, there's a hole there. Maybe we'll try and get it backed out. But I think we'll just probably get it running today, right? Should start right.
We're gonna try start. Okay, Lou, we've got the old Interstate dual post battery in here. It's good to jump it this way because these side posts with that reservoir is not too easy to jump. See if we got the cranking.
Nothing.
Nothing. Ooh. Unless I did disconnect the battery here. No. How about now?
Nothing.
Ooh, that's no bueno. How about now?
Nothing.
All right, hold on. Is your jumper pack good?
That's yours.
Oh, that's good then. Try now.
Yeah, a little light, little ignition generator light. It's barely lit.
Boy, this is weird. Hold on.
Right now.
Yeah, it's something. All right, hold on. We got some fuel. Did you bring the fuel?
I forgot. Give me a second.
It figures.
Don't talk bad about me.
I didn't. Guy forgets everything. They blame me for being old. Let's see here. Hopefully not gonna have no fires. No fire extinguisher. We forgot it. This old baby should fire right up. Does the gas gauge work on this though? Yeah, figures.
Just below half the tank.
If that's accurate. A little fuel. A little more fuel. And stand back.
Okay, first start in 7 years, 6 years?
At least.
5, I don't know.
I got the gas pedal. Hold on, let me get some more juice in there. Starter. Go ahead. I got the gas.
Almost there.
I gave you some fuel.
Fuel gauge just tagged past full.
Must be bad.
Round.
Yeah. Hold it. Don't crank it while I'm spraying. That's no bueno. Go ahead. Try it again. Alright, I think it's starting to get fuel. Try it again. Hold it. We're losing our battery. Try it again. Hold it before we... It's a new starter in there right now. Well, 7 years ago. Try it again, cuz.
Got fuel?
Let's try without it.
Like no gas.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that gas gauge is not working.
No, it's down to E now. Or it's not pegged, it's just above. Still oil pressure.
Yeah, the motor sounds good now. It was ticking before.
There's no generator light on. There's no voltage. No. You want me to?
Try it again.
Not sure if that's original mileage. Runs pretty good.
Well, I don't think this car will move today without putting gas in or something.
We ain't got time for that.
Try Try one more time.
I'll do it without the key. Don't steal this car, please. For being camped, it's really smooth. It would idle if it had gas.
I don't want to keep running this on. It's not good for the...
How come every time we try and start a car for YouTube that's one of ours, it doesn't work?
That's our luck, cuz.
We suck. All right,
What do you want to do?
I think we're about wrapped up here.
All right, we tried.
Okay.
We failed.
You taking the
We'll be
battery?
back. Huh?
You taking the battery?
Yeah, might as well. No parts here from the store.
You don't find shops like this anymore.
US Route 66.
Reproduction, buddy.
Is it?
I would think so.
He used to have old signs over here. But I think we took them.
This is in someone's backyard.
It used to be his alignment shop, Brakes. He used to do a lot of business here. This is old stove.
Yeah, that's how he heated
He
it,
used to
right?
heat the place. He used to stand in front of it.
He's not too big either. The snap-on box is old. Couple of drill presses.
He does?
One there.
Oh, he used to do his brakes in that. What's she got?
Model A. This one's real, right?
Yeah.
He had a shave for a long time. He's still... All right, gotta go. On to the next.
This is hopefully the last Thanksgiving, Christmas season. This Buick will be in my third bay of Two Lou's Garage, otherwise known as Lou's Service Station. Let's see what transpires soon. Goodbye. Sorry, I had the battery disconnected. There's some 2+2 mirrors, close mirror hooked up. Started right up and playing. Okay, gotta go. Happy Thanksgiving. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Here is the next project, hopefully. So we have an up-and-coming family thing in September. I have to get this car done. After 14 years, this car should be out of this
I haven't had
garage.
it for 14 years.
How many years did you have it?
2009 I bought it.
So how many years is that?
I'm not telling you. I want you to figure it out.
I'm video. I can't do math while I'm videoing.
It'll be 13 years in August.
Well, 14 years. It's going to be by September. So anyway, next level we have to do, we're going to do some painting inside here. Put the weather strip back in. Finish up the body work here and there. A lot of it's done. But I ran out of time. But I'm running out of time. I'm 64 years old, so I have to get it done. Almost 64. I'm busy. That's why I don't have good time, because these guys here, except for that man right there, he's a DTO mechanic. See him right there, putting the door up? There he goes.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're focusing on a car that a number of you have asked about. You've seen it in the background of other videos. There was a clip of it running when we were doing the Holley carburetor rebuild for the GTO project. It is my 1970 Buick Skylark. It's not a real Gran Sport as you see right there. It is a clone. We have a couple other real Gran Sports that will make their appearances respectively on the channel at some point. This one I had a grill left over, so naturally I think it's a better looking grill. This is a Pro Touring inspired build, one I've wanted to do for like 10 years. Really big into the Pro Touring scene from an appearance standpoint, always appreciated it. Obviously the handling is why you do it. So I took the leap of faith with this car. I bought it painted as is in 2018 from Michigan. This car I've known about. It actually was restored in 2008 by the guy I bought it from. He put NOS quarters on it, painted it this GM color. Aqua Mist is what it's called for Buick, code 34. Even went as far, I'm not sure if you can see it from here, but wrote the chalk marking like the factory did for the 34 paint code. It's originally a burgundy color, one of the earth tones that Buick would have offered, a burgundy or brown, I don't even remember. But when it got restored, it got NOS quarters, different front fenders. The doors, I believe, were pretty solid, but essentially it was painted, put back together with its original 350, a rebuilt trans. The brakes weren't great or anything, just the stock stuff. And from what I remember, most of it was pretty beat. He had to sell the car. It sat in a warehouse in Texas for like 9 years, and then he bought it back. I then bought it. I swapped the engines. It's a 455 Buick that I bought from another good friend of mine. It's actually being featured today because I believe it has started knocking, but this is a 1973 455. It's bored 30 over to 462 cubic inches. Stock cam, from what I know. It has 70 455 heads that I swapped on, so they are slightly higher compression. Stock rockers, an aluminum Edelbrock B4B, which stands for Buick 4-barrel intake. Does have these cool Edelbrock valve covers that I bought the package actually at Carlisle. These are like my favorite valve covers. They're super expensive if you can find them now. I got a good deal on them and did have to restore them. I repainted them and polished them, but otherwise, nothing too crazy under the hood. An 800 CFM Quadrajet, and I believe that's it from a performance standpoint. Stock distributor. I do have a distributor and heads on the shelf. One day this will get a lovely build. If things go well, I'd like to be like in the 650 horsepower range with direct port injection EFI on a Buick. Don't want to LS swap it or anything. When I built this car, I really had three purposes in mind. I wanted it to handle like a modern car, which we'll talk about how it does now. I would like it to have a day two appearance. I love the day two era, like 1975, 1976, when you can buy stuff like these valve covers over the counter and just swap them on. Suspension setup is where I really splurged. It's a RideTech full stage 2 coilover kit, so that comes with their bigger front sway bar, tubular upper and lower A-arms. RideTech coilovers, I think they're double adjustable. They're made by Fox Shock, so that's the front kit pretty much. Relocates all the geometry needed. And then the rear, it's got upper, the trailing arms are tubular, both upper and lower. It's got a big rear sway bar on it. Again, the same coilover setup. The tire and wheel package, they are Forgestar F14s that I bought from another Buick guy. Really set me up. He is one of the few auto crossers, but front wheels are, they're both 18s. I think these are 18 by 9 and those are 18 by 11s. The rear tire is a 315 35 18, if I remember correctly. Front is a 275 35 18. Had to do a number of clearance things to get these to fit and go lock to lock. Actually, that's a future project. Now that I think about it, they're still not quite as good as I'd like them to be. The rears, all I had to do was trim the inner wheel well lip. I still wanted to keep the stock style wheel well molding, and I also had to bash the rear inner fenders. Not going to show you guys that right now. The interior needs some love. These are 70 Chevelle bucket seats that we actually just had. 15-inch Buick Sport wheel with the Buick Sport wheel horn. New carpet was in it when I bought it. I installed a tack and then just a standard set of gauges, water temp, oil pressure, and volts that, I don't know about you guys, but I have never hooked up a voltmeter. You don't need it. It either charges or it doesn't. So nothing really too exciting here. I'm trying to think what else I did. I did convert it to halogen headlights in the front, LED bulbs all the way around. As you could kind of see, those are halogens, you use a Jeep wiring harness that it actually plugs into your stock harness and has its own relays and stuff. So it turns on and off with the ignition. You just got to run a power, or with the headlight harness, you just got to run a power. But other than that, besides the LED bulbs in the rear that look pretty cool, I'm not sure how much you could see that. Did have a Skylark at one point that was bought new in Scranton Buick, so I had an old picture of it and had a buddy of mine replicate that decal from the dealer. Other than that, it's pretty much stock, 256, 8.5 Buick Posi rear, just something to get both tires moving. And that's really it. But the reason it's here, I think we have a knock in it, which insert clip of my dad and I trying to figure that out.
Wow.
Definitely not.
Good idea?
So we're gonna jack it up, and then ideally, once we jack it up, the torque converter bolts or the flex plate bolts are loose. So figure it out and go from there. Here's a better look at the suspension. This stuff is like so high quality. It's unbelievable. The welds on it are incredible. Super easy to go in. The only modification you need to make, you have to drill out like a, I don't know if it's 3/4 of an inch hole, but where the top of the shock mounts to the upper side of the frame where they have that pad. If the stock one's like 9/16 thick, that one has to be 3/4 or 1 3/4 inches, whatever it is, I forget. But forgot to mention, these are Baer disc brakes. It's their big brake kit, front and rear. The front is a 4 caliper 13-inch rotor. The rear is a single piston caliper, I believe. It might be a dual piston. This is a dual piston, and that's a 12-inch rotor on the rear. The issue I have with the steering is RideTech doesn't mention this, but the stock steering bump stops hit the lower control arm pretty quickly. Like with the stock steering setup, you really only get, I don't know, maybe like a few degrees of turning radius. I had to, as you can see, grind that down fairly decently. Other than the suspension and brakes, it does have a Grand National steering box in it, which is a stock style upgrade. You just have to buy a kit from Lee's that adapts for the power steering lines. It's I think it's 12:1 quick ratio or 12.7:1. It's like 2 3/4 turn lock to lock. But back to the issue, I don't think it actually knocks. You can see in there, that is where the flex plate bolts to the crank. Me, being an idiot, like my father said, I think I initially only torqued these to like 15 pounds with some red Loctite when they had to be like 75 pounds. The actual, you can see it right here, the actual flex plate to the torque converter bolts are tight, but these are like a turn and a quarter backed out. And I did already tighten these once, but they clearly weren't tight enough. So I think what I'm gonna do is just tighten them enough now to make sure the noise goes away. And then hopefully I can nurse it down to my dad's, where again, with the lift, it's pretty easy to do it. And he's got some special sockets and stuff that should be able to take care of that. So I'm gonna continue to tighten them, and then we'll... It sounds so much better.